Teaching kids to respect boundaries, a guide for parents and educators. Teaching kids to respect boundaries is one of the most important lessons parents and educators can instill in them. It helps children understand the importance of personal space, emotional limits, and respecting the rights of others. When children learn to respect boundaries, they not only foster better relationships but also grow into responsible and empathetic individuals. In a world that increasingly values empathy, consent, and respect for others, teaching kids about boundaries is a crucial step in their personal development. Why boundaries matter. Boundaries, both physical and emotional, are essential for healthy interpersonal interactions. Children need to understand that every individual has personal space and emotional limits that must be respected. For example, touching someone without permission, taking things without asking, or invading someone's emotional space by forcing them to share feelings are all violations of boundaries. By respecting boundaries, children learn to interact with others in a way that values their autonomy, which helps build trust and respect in relationships. Furthermore, understanding boundaries also contributes to a child's self-respect. When children know that their own boundaries are important, they become more capable of standing up for themselves. This is crucial for their emotional well-being and safety, particularly as they grow older and face more complex social situations. Starting early, teaching boundaries at a young age. The process of teaching kids about boundaries should begin at an early age. Toddlers, for example, can start learning about boundaries through simple lessons like asking for permission before taking a toy from a friend or learning that hitting someone is not acceptable behavior. These early experiences form the foundation for understanding more complex concepts of boundaries as they get older. For younger children, parents and caregivers can use everyday situations to introduce the idea of boundaries. For instance, if a child reaches for something that doesn't belong to them, caregivers can gently explain that they should ask for permission first. Similarly, if a child is playing too roughly with another child, it's an opportunity to explain that everyone has different comfort levels with physical touch. Additionally, it's important to model boundary-respecting behaviors as adults. Children often learn by observing the adults around them, so parents and educators should demonstrate how to respectfully set and respect boundaries. For example, if a child interrupts while an adult is speaking, the adult can calmly explain that they will attend to the child after they finish their conversation, thereby teaching the child to respect conversational boundaries. The role of consent and boundaries. Consent is a significant part of teaching kids to respect boundaries, and this lesson becomes particularly important as children grow older. Consent isn't just about physical interactions, it's also about emotional and social boundaries. Teaching children to ask for consent before engaging in certain behaviors, such as hugging a friend or borrowing something, reinforces the idea that everyone has the right to decide what they are comfortable with. Encouraging children to ask permission also empowers them to understand that their own boundaries are just as important. By emphasizing that no is a valid and respected response, children learn that it's okay to assert their personal limits, and they should equally respect others' no. This practice builds a foundation for future relationships where mutual respect is key. Handling boundary violations. It's inevitable that children will, at some point, violate others' boundaries, whether intentionally or unintentionally. When this happens, it's important for adults to guide the child through understanding the violation and learning from it, rather than simply punishing them. The goal is to help children reflect on their actions and realize how their behavior affected others. For example, if a child grabs a toy from another child without asking, the adult can intervene and explain how the other child might feel about having their toy taken. Encouraging empathy in these moments can help children better grasp the importance of respecting others' boundaries. It's also important to teach them to apologize and make amends when they realize they have overstepped someone's boundaries. Reinforcing boundary lessons over time. Teaching kids to respect boundaries is not a one-time lesson. It requires continuous reinforcement as children encounter new situations and challenges. Parents and educators should provide consistent reminders and guidance as kids grow, making sure to adjust the complexity of the conversations about boundaries to match the child's level of understanding. In conclusion, Teaching kids to respect boundaries is a critical part of raising responsible, empathetic, and respectful individuals. By starting early, modeling good behavior, emphasizing the importance of consent, and guiding children through mistakes, parents and educators can help children develop a healthy understanding of personal limits and the rights of others. As they grow, children who understand and respect boundaries will be better equipped to build strong, respectful relationships throughout their lives.